And now let's move over to Rivers State. All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has won 20 chairmanship seats out of 23 local government councils in the elections which held on Saturday, August 30, 2025. The results, which were announced by Chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Dr. Michael Ode, indicated that the APC won in Abua Odwal, Awada East, Awada West, Akukutoru, Andoni, Asaritoru, Boni, Degema, Eleme, Emohua, Eche, Gokana, Ikwere, Kana, Okrika, Omuma, Okpobonkoro, Oyibo, and Tai, while PDP won in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni, Obio-Akpor, and Falga. However, reacting, former Vice President and Chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has condemned the just concluded local government elections in Rivers State as an absurdity and travesty of democracy. He also described the election as shameful and shambolic, while calling on the opposition political parties in Rivers State to reject the outcome of the election. Speaking with this day, legal advisor, People's Democratic Party in Rivers State, Okachi Odu, described the election as one of the best things that happened to the state, saying it was transparent and credible and would bring peace to the state. All right. Okay, so let's go straight into the story today. Adefemi, I'm starting with you. An eventful weekend.
Yes.
If people were not talking, I think Professor Skiyamo said, let him weigh in. Let him, I think in local parlance, chook mouth into another person's matter. But beyond that, the River State's much anticipated election, despite all the kickbacks, is still held, and the results are out. APC sweeping and PDP getting three of those seats.
Yes. And then Rivers elections.
Okay.
It was after an elections, fellas sang the song, Babala nonsense, Babala nonsense. How people no go vote? We're going to get thousands to thousands, millions to millions. Now, democracy be this year. Is this democracy in Rivers? Let's take what happened in Obio-Akpor, the miracle of Obio-Akpor. Over 300,000 votes. Please, check. In the last governorship election, what did the winner get in Obio-Akpor? All of a sudden, 300,000 people voted for one candidate in Obio-Akpor. The total vote margin of a winner in the last governorship election in the states was it more than 2 million. So you are telling me over 300,000 people voted for the winner in Obio-Akpor?
It's popular.
It's popular. Ayo, we don't have time. I will have given you empirical statistics. 8,000, 7,000, 11,000, those were the margin of winning local governments in this last election. All of a sudden, I mean in 2023 elections, all of a sudden we are seeing 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, Obio-Akpor over 300,000. That's why Fela sang, "Na democracy be." That's why Wike had the impetus to come out to say, now the road is now clear for Fubara to return. So, is it Wike now that commandeers what has become of a state of emergency? The same elections, Wike is triumphant over today. But when Fubara did his own, Wike went to Supreme Court. All the things that made Wike go to Supreme Court that time, he has done exactly the same thing to Fubara. To today, he's happy. The miracle of Obio-Akpor, over 300,000 votes. INEC. Now elections with this. Oh no, it's not INEC. Reset. Now elections with this. He now speaks volumes. The games we're playing all this while. Over 300. Please, can you check the election winning votes from Obio-Akpor in the last election? So that you not say it's Rufai that is starting a storm this morning. Please just go and Google winning margin for Obio-Akpor in the last 2023 elections and the winning margin. You can do the exercise. Femi, you can do the exercise. Sure. So that you see, when we start deceiving ourselves, we know where the deceit comes from in this country. Congratulations, the winner of the elections. The likes of Mr. Antonio Okocha will come and defend these elections today. We are ready. Congratulations. Second point, Femi.
The South, your take on these stories?
First, I have to say it's a juicy selection of stories this morning. I have to say, very, very interesting topics. And I have to say congratulations on the pronunciations of all of those different areas. Well done, Iho. You did very, very well. Let's start with River State, because I think that is amongst the juiciest to discuss. And I think that when many people were looking ahead to this election, there was a lot of anticipation to make sure that first and foremost, this election was able to hold successfully, be able to go without any major issues. And I think by and large, that was something that did happen. So on its face, the people of Rivers can be happy about that. But this is, of course, happening against the backdrop of so much democratic irregularity, so many things that have happened to the people of River State, to River State's governance, that cause people to take a critical eye and look at what is happening here. So clearly, the huge elephant in the room is the absence of the suspended governor, Sim Fubara. Many people who are in support of him may have felt more comfortable with these elections being held once he's reinstated, once he comes back, and it's just some 18 or 19 days away from that being the reality for River State. So I think that this election taking place under the purview of a solid administrator does leave a bitter taste in the mouth, and that contributes to the criticism of the fairness of the election, of its validity in its first place, because of what is happening against the backdrop. That being said, when we look at the results, I don't think many people would fall down and be surprised that the APC were able to take 20 out of the 23 states on offer, and of the remaining 3 seats, they went to PDP. Both sets, the APC and the PDP winners, are reportedly believed to be people who are loyalists to the governor, the minister, I'm sorry, I almost misspoke there, the former governor and the current minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. So then that continues really to pull at the strings of whether or not this is a valid election, whether or not the choices were free and fair, whether or not the people of River State did actually have a valid and true choice in the sense of the word, being that a lot of these candidates who ended up winning these seats were people who it kind of felt as though they were always going to be the ones. They were always going to be the people who would emerge as winners. And while in any election there can be forerunners, there can be more popular candidates, it just feels as though the spirit behind this actual election really goes against the real paramount of democracy. And that's why you see the likes of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar saying that this is a travesty, that these elections should be annulled, that people shouldn't accept the result. And we can understand in a political sense where his pushback is coming from. But I do think that when we're looking at River State, we have to be very careful that we are not setting very dangerous precedents. I still think that there are many people at this table, many people who feel as though this election is happening perhaps a little too soon. And perhaps once the truly elected governor of a state returns to his seat, then these types of things should be happening, because ultimately an election should happen under the purview of a governor, an elected governor, and not a solemn